I'm only gonna say this once. And I want you to hear me when I say this right now. If you walk through that door, don't come back. Do you hear me? If you take your things and you walk through that door, don't come back. But before you leave, I have some things that I need to say to you. And if you still choose to walk out that door after I say these things, then there's nothing left of us. So I'll make it very clear. If you go through that door, if you walk through that door, we are done, and we are done for good. There's no coming back a week from now, there's no coming back a month from now, there's no coming back a year from now. Do I make myself clear? Alright, good. So let's take it like this. I have done everything I could for us. I have achieved everything I told you I would achieve for us. I have done everything I could for us. I have been the best version of me that I can be for us. Do you remember back when we were in school? We had each other's backs. We studied together. When your dad was hitting you, I was there to comfort you. When he threatened to hurt you, I was there to stand up for you. Do you remember back when Mom used to yell at me and call me all of these things, and you would hold me in your arms and wipe away my tears and tell me that I'm not those things? Do you remember when we graduated and no one showed up for us but each other? Do you remember that? Do you remember who was the one that took your pictures at prom? Who was the one that drove you there? Who was the one that took you there? Who was the one that held you all night long? Do you remember who was the one that asked you out? The one that stood by your side after you chased guys that broke your heart time and time after again. I was there, and despite you knowing that I was in love with you, despite you knowing how I felt, you still chased them, and I still stood by your side. Who was there with you when you wanted to leave your dad's house? And I said we can move into an apartment together, that way it's not as hard. Who was there for you when the job that you were working bounced your first check and you had no money and I had to cover for you? Who was there for you when you needed someone to come and pick you up when you went out partying alone. Not just once, not just twice, but every single time. Who was there for you when you were sick and you needed someone to stay by your side and help take care of you? Who was there for you when we had nothing to eat, but we made sure that we took care of each other? This house that we live in, we got that together as a couple. We came from nothing and we rose up. We found our own home. We found our own place. We found our own purpose back when you were working at a corner store. Who was there to support you through all of your studies? Before you got into this office work, who was there for you to hold you close every time you needed someone, every time you relived your traumas, your past? Who was there for you every time you kicked in and you thought that maybe you're over your head, maybe you do not belong, maybe this is too much? Who was there? I was there. And every time we fight and we fight, I'm the one that's crawling back to you asking for forgiveness. I'm the one that's begging you to stay. Every time you question my loyalty to you, I am the one that has to prove myself. Time and time again. Even right now, you're packing your bags, saying you're leaving, that you deserve better. You deserve better after I've given you the best of everything. After the countless times you've repeatedly said that you are no longer in love with me. After time and time again. One morning you wake up and you love me to the world. Next morning you wake up and you hate me. The other morning you wake up and I'm the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. Do you know what it's like to have the person that you love, the person that means the world to you, tell you that you're not good enough for them, that you're not good looking enough, that you're too fat, that they hate your voice, that they hate your personality, that after everything you rub it in. You take all of my insecurities and you rub it in, but each and every time, I rise up. You hated my body. I went and I worked out. You hated my voice and the way that I spoke. I changed that. You hated my past, and I made sure that I showed you that you're the only one for me. And even now, when you're ready to walk through that door and leave it all behind, every inch of me just wants to say, please don't leave. Please don't do this to us. But I've made up my mind. If you want to walk through that door, go on. Leave. This is the final time I'll be begging you to stay with me. This is the last time I'm gonna ignore everything that hurts and ask you to stay with me. But if you choose to walk out that door, don't come back. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna stay? Or are you gonna leave? I need an answer. Because that's gonna determine our forever always.